Absolutely. I'm super grateful because during this time of even writing the content for the book, it came when we did it quietly. We did it without the fanfare. We didn't tell really anyone. We knew the stories, we knew the struggles and the trials and tribulations, but it's what you do in the dark that produces this. We didn't do it for this. But our fruit is the offspring of that. And so I'm so grateful because there's so many people. I want to ask you, how many times do you feel people reach out to you, communicate to you, and they abandon their investment, or they abandon it because they realize it's an investment and it's going to cost them.
What's up? Welcome back to Aspire Higher with Charles and Yvana Bailey. We have a special friend in the house, our guy, Pete Lopez. What a great guy. This man is literally our partner. I don't want to use the word in crime, but in business.
That's right.
He is literally a part of the backbone of what we're doing with Inspire Inc. & Co. As you know, we published our new book, and there's so much to share with you. We're so grateful to have him. But he is the CEO and owner of Publify Press.
Yes.
This guy knows how to get books off the press into people's hands, bestsellers. He'll push you, and he's got more energy than 3 or 4 cans of coffee at one time. So without further ado, my man Pete, welcome to the show.
Listen, I am honored. Like I feel like we know each other.
Yes.
You know, publishing is not an easy process, right?
No.
We all have a dream until someone tells you have to finance it, right? And then everybody starts to do that, right? And the bigger the dream, the bigger the cost, right?
True, man.
I mean, it's like when I was when I was hungry, you didn't feed me, and when I was naked, you didn't dress me, right?
Come on.
All that it comes with money. You can't dress nobody without money. You
That's
can't.
right.
So people always have dreams, they just don't want to invest in it.
Ooh, he's starting off hot. He ain't even talk about
No,
himself.
y'all
type
the
of
one that
podcast.
started, man. I ain't scared. I'm from the Bronx.
Okay,
So
boogie
I love the aspect that y'all were like, listen, we invested in our dream before,
Yeah,
and it
that's right.
cost us money. Things went south,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
And your story is very powerful because when it comes to publishing, the publishing world has been very like, it's $1 trillion business, not $1 billion. People act like comic books and Thor.
right, yeah.
It's publishing. So
Right.
publishing at the tail is owning your rights. And they've done a real good job with the black and brown taking our rights. That's why you see rappers that don't make money.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, Don Robinson, we talked about from En Vogue, they reached out to me, wanted me to do her book. They sold like 10 million records and made like 2 pennies on the
I
dollar.
remember that.
Like these
And like
companies
TLC.
are built
Yeah.
to take talent and like a chupacabra just to suck it out of you. And then, we say, but, get a lawyer. I grew up in the South Bronx, in the free cheese line. What type of lawyer you think I'm going to get?
Come on.
They're going to give me their lawyer,
Yeah.
quote unquote, some guy at 54th Street that's going to write, I'm going to do a good contract for you.
Yeah.
I'm
All you
gonna
got to do is sign it.
All you got to do is sign it.
Yeah.
And when you sign it, you lose your rights. Look at like you, this is Jacob and Esau. Till this day, there's a battle because whoever owns your rights owns your life.
Woo, this boy is speaking fire.
And-
we ain't even got in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so
talk about
that's
that.
the key. So you cannot give up your rights.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally, I'm a grandfather, right?
Yeah.
And I have 2 grandbabies, 1 on the way. All I think about is them. What can I give them? And if you don't have any rights, you can't give anything to the next part.
Exactly.
So a lot of our people just saying, they watch TV and they watch TikTok and they see these people. You don't need that anymore. So you guys have a great platform.
Thank you, sir.
When you reached out to us, I was like, yo, let's do it. Tommy.
Yeah,
Urban
our boy,
D,
shout out
the
Tommy,
baddest.
my man.
Tommy is like
Legend.
A guru, bro. I thought I knew my stuff. He's bad. He reached out to us and talked about your story. And I was like, yo, let's do it. And then Mimi, of course, if it wasn't for Mimi, she's the one that
gotta
made it
shout
happen.
out. She really
I look good up front. She's the one that makes me look great in the back, and behind the scenes. So the Flight of Your Life, it really became bestseller.
Yeah.
I love the look at man. Listen, we got to stop being cheesy, right?
Come on, talk about it.
I grew up in church, so my dad's a preacher,
Talk
right?
about it, talk about it.
When we like doing books early, like I want hands to come out of heaven.
Oh my gosh.
Weird hands.
Right, yeah.
I look at weird looking cross or like some bird. I'm like, that's the Holy Spirit. It's like some pigeon from like New York, Come on. I'm like, yo, excellence
from New York.
When excellence around mediocrity is unacceptable, right?
Come on.
So I love this right here. When we did this project, I was like, yo, this is fire. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is what you call a dust jacket. Back then, they would send this.
Show them.
And the publishing, where was it? Which one?
Yeah, you got it,
That's
man.
your camera.
All
Hey,
good.
yeah,
Which
pick
one?
it up.
360. So this is what you call a dust jacket. Back then, the publishers would send this,
Yeah.
so the hardcover would not get messed up.
Right, protected. Exactly.
So this, you would buy this and throw it away.
Right.
But people started keeping it.
Of course.
So look at this bad boy. Look, it's not only a dust jacket.
Show
it's
them.
a hardcover dust jacket.
Oh.
Oh, snap. Don't play.
Let's go.
So that's why.
Don't lose the cover.
Did you guys ever flown in a plane? Like, did you ever fly a plane?
Fly a
No.
plane? No.
I mean, how many-
Flown in a plane? Yes.
Yo, listen
Flown
to
a
me.
plane.
This is my last story because I'm yapping away, and then y'all can talk to me.
Go ahead.
I flew in a plane one time, and it's cool because when you fly. I would fly a lot. And you fly in, 747, you're in the back, you're first class, or you're in the back. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You don't know what's happening in the front.
That's right.
So, in the
Don't
front,
to sleep.
in the front, I'm flying a 4-seater. We're coming out of New York to
no.
Pennsylvania for a meeting.
Okay.
And we miss, so like the drive is like 7 hours, the flight is 1. So while we're flying, this is crazy. We come off, and it's 4-seater, so he's like,
yeah.
And he's flying the plane, and he's looking at his instruments, making sure everything is right.
Sure.
So he's making sure, and he just kept hovering on something. It's weird. It's like in and out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm on the thing, and he's like, that doesn't look hard. He's like, oh, you want to try it? Cool. So we're about 8,000 feet.
Okay.
First of all, I would never give you the controls. Of
I'm
it.
telling you. I can't even ride a good
Ain't no way.
remote control car, And we go crashing. Dude, so it's flying, and there's a crazy thing.
I'm listening.
While it's flying, I'm doing stuff, and he's like, in and out, in and out,
Yeah,
in and
that's
out.
right.
He kind of I bet he had an autopilot. Right?
Sure.
But check this out. This is what blew my mind. This is why I love the flight of your life. Is he's like, I said, how do I do? He said, not bad. You veered about 2,000 feet. But he said, because you're not in a car, you're in a different atmosphere.
That's right.
So
That's
when
right.
you're at a
That's
higher
right.
level, the
That's right.
mistakes aren't as catastrophic.
That's it.
Because no one sees them.
Yeah, that's a word right there.
But if you're in a car and you veer
Of
10 feet,
course.
That's
You're
it.
done.
you're killing 10 people.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about this
Wow.
mindset. You guys have this elevated mindset.
sir.
Like, let's take,
you.
why not think above
That's right.
who we are?
Right.
And I love that about that. And that's why I'm like so excited when you invited me here.
Thanks,
and I appreciate it, man.
Hey,
So,
man, well, we're honored, man.
yeah,
No,
man.
that's incredible.
I yap all day, man. So yeah,
No, but hey,
yeah, it's my second coffee. So
Well,
it's
second.
Well, put that down right now.
Yeah, yeah,
No, just-
You're
I'm
shaking.
shaking.
You're
I'm
shaking.
shaking.
You're literally shaking.
But I have to say this, man, because this is incredible. It was such a great honor to work with them, and we found such a relationship that we didn't have in the previous launch of our book.
That's right.
And he kind of touched on it. But I want to say this to you, our audience, not just so that we highlight the experience, but the truth of what he expounded upon. There'll be times in your life, even that example, great example, where you do something and it is the dream and you're working toward what you envision.
Right.
But something happens and it doesn't go as planned. First, you don't stop. We finished it.
Yep.
Part of excellence is finishing what you start. We got to the end of it. We honored our contract and we gave it our best. But we always kept in mind that there was something more. And when the opportunity opened and presented itself, whether it comes to your friends, whether it comes through something at your job or relationship, be wise enough to see this could be your opportunity and courageous enough to go. Just like when someone tries to hand you the controls, you may be already at a higher altitude. So the mistakes and the pain you felt before won't be the same.
Nice.
But
Oh,
you've
go ahead.
already committed enough to know that you can get through and finish. I'm talking to somebody.
Nice.
So I just want to share this with you because this is what we are here for. This is what we talk about when we say aspire higher. Always look up. Always look out because you also have an incredible legacy to leave. And I'm so grateful that we were able to partner. We liked each other so much that we launched a company together
Come on.
so that we can create opportunities for other people like you.
That's right.
Because there's something on the inside of you that does need to get out
Yeah.
so that you can impact your world. So I'm just so grateful, man, that you are willing, first of all, because a lot of people don't like to work with books that have already been out.
No,
They
it's harder.
assume
Right,
assume that
Yeah.
it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like we told you, we're not like everybody
No,
else.
amen.
At all.
I said we're gonna do it and we're gonna do it for real.
And I like how Yvonne,
Yvana,
like Yvonna, I was like always like, checks and balances. Like,
Checks and
it reminds me of me, like, you're like, you look forward, and she's like, hold on, how are we gonna get there?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, we gotta buy the building, we gotta buy the cement. Right. I just want the building. It looks great. She's like, well, we need contracts,
process,
and there's checks and balances and everything. And you know, you ever heard the story of like Cirque du Soleil and Railing Brothers, Hepburn-Bailey?
Potentially, but tell it.
Yeah, because I love telling stories.
Stories
are the most powerful things, right? You know, Stephen King. He wrote. He's psycho, but he writes great.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
no shade. We love your work. You're a great talent, great artist.
So no, but who's the other guy? Steven Spielberg. Says every like 5-10 minutes you have to introduce a story, so the mind doesn't like. Yeah. So when people talk to you, the best way to communicate is through story.
That's right.
Like, imagine you start talking to somebody and they're just telling you everything they want. You
facts,
have the
right.
Right.
So what's crazy about Cirque du Soleil, right? So Railing Brothers, Hepburn-Bailey.
Yeah.
You remember the circus?
Yeah,
I grew up in New York, so you like the circus.
Of course,
we actually still go to that circus, the Ringling Brothers.
Yeah.
Orlando, yeah.
So they were like the prominent circus.
Yeah,
they were like
for
massive.
Sure. For sure.
But Circus of the Sun came out. Circus of the Sun. And they try to compare themselves to Railing Brothers, Hepburn-Bailey. But they changed it. They elevated and they changed their mindset. Yeah. And they said, let's call ourselves
Cirque du Soleil,
which
is the same word,
same word,
but in a different language.
Nomenclature
and
right
then,
there.
But they got rid of the monkeys,
elevated,
and the clowns.
Yeah, you have to level up.
And certain people, you just got to get rid of monkeys in your life because all they want to do is clown around.
That's it.
Because a friend will do that to you. There's friends you got.
Come on, bro.
Had.
I grew up. I
did my purchase.
I grew up in St. Anne, Cypress Hill. They're friends you'll still go back and family that they're like, oh, you know, you got to keep it real. You got to keep it 100. And I'm like, yo, you've been sitting in this thing for 25 years. You can't just keep blaming the system.
Absolutely.
And it's just there. And I love them, but they're friends that are just consumers. They'll consume the life out of it. You call them and you get nothing out of it.
Nothing.
And that's why I stopped picking up the phone. I love you. I'll bless you. I'll send you $100. But we can't, because all they do is consume time.
Understand.
You know, you go to dinner and it's expensive. And all they want to do is talk about Martha and Cynthia and Renata, and you know, and that's the only thing you have in common is that.
Right.
Where like great friends, you don't really see them a lot, but they collaborate.
Come on, every
like
time,
us.
every
We
time.
barely see each other,
But
when we see each other, we collaborate. You have like these ideas of like this came out. So that's where I think we have to have that higher level of thinking. Like, yo, I got to think like Cirque du Soleil.
Come on,
like,
bro.
let me get rid of these monkeys in my life.
That's right.
And you know, these people that are just taking my energy.
That's right.
I'd rather be
And
with
your
2 or 3
soul.
world changers than 1,000 people that aren't doing anything.
Period.
Right?
100%, bro.
So
same thing with Jesus.
Yeah.
He much more preferred to be with his crowd, his clique.
Yeah.
Even when the crowd said, "Let us be a part of it," he's like, "No, I'm gonna steal away."
I'm rolling with 11 and a few crazy people.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna roll with this 12 because I gotta
12,
use them.
12, exactly.
But then 11, we're going.
We always do.
No, listen. In your life, you're always gonna have a betrayer. You're gonna have someone that's gonna deny you, and you're gonna have someone that's gonna turn against you, right? So Peter, Thomas, and who's the other one?
Judas.
Yeah.
Judas.
Definitely forgot him. Yeah, he's like,
he ain't one of my friends.
Yeah, that was the other one. You're gonna have those people, right? You can't get to the next level with somebody denying you, doubting you, or betraying you.
That's right.
And I always say this, and I said this before. Like, if you got a problem when one person's talking about you, then you ain't ready for the big time.
You're not ready, man.
No. Like, imagine when like you start to have 3, 4,
Real
500
success,
people, and 1,000 people talking about you. You can't handle 1 or 2 people. You're like,
you're not ready for that level.
Absolutely.
What?
You're not ready.
Put her place, and then you start like saying
stupid stuff on
Facebook.
Yep.
I'm reading your profile. I mean, your comments. I'm like, man, what's wrong? No one knows you and Becky have a problem
at all.
until she has the good hair. And now you're all upset at her, right? And you're like going against her. You know what? I don't need to know your problems. And you know what's the thing is, your great grandkids are gonna see that. Like whatever you say now.
Oh yeah, it's on record forever.
Back then we had the Polaroid.
Yeah, that's it. That's right.
Back then there was no video camera.
Yeah, that's right.
I thank God they didn't
I
record
was gonna
some of
say that. Yeah, yep. We're the last generation.
Bro,
yeah.
I thank God they didn't record some of the stuff I did. So everything is documented and it's there forever. That's why you see some of these celebrities or
falling 30 years
later.
later.
Some of these. My son, he got recruited to play football, and one of the kids was more recruited, but he said some stuff on Twitter that came out a year later.
That's
like,
all there is to it.
And you
year
say
later.
stuff,
Come
and you
on.
got these mamas shaking their bum.
Yep,
and
I saw that.
Their,
Losing their jobs,
their
man, all kinds of
grandkids are
stuff.
gonna be like,
Yep.
"Yo, mom, damn, man,
Yeah.
Lost it like that, huh?
you that much of a hoochie?" I'm like, you know,
Come
so,
on, grandmama? Not grandmama.
grandma out there, you know, with a Henny bottle. Now
Oh
she's all
my
happy, you know.
gosh.
Like, I get it. You have to live
Right.
life.
Yes.
But you got to be
You
conscious.
still have to live righteously.
We don't have to you don't have to document everything. There's certain things I don't document.
Absolutely.
Like we live the life of like, you know what happens is, Charles, we try to impress people we don't like
Yeah, and don't know.
and don't know. And we trying to live this life that, you know, I've been there, bro, when you're around, I've been there around billionaires and millionaires. It's a whole different mindset.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you
feel
don't
it too.
even know.
Yeah, you won't even have a clue.
They're not wearing the Fendi's.
No.
Why show?
Bro, it's like
For what?
they don't want to be around
They don't
people.
wanna-
Right.
Yep.
So I think in the publishing world, this book is really, it's got great principles.
Thank you, sir.
And I think and you got a lot of extra resources with the
absolutely.
with the QR codes and all that. And it hit bestseller.
Yeah.
So I got a surprise for you guys.
Oh, what
guys
you
ready?
got? What's up, bro?
I like surprises.
He rubbing his hands.
So on behalf of Mimi got this for us. On behalf
man.
of Publify Press, we want to present you guys with the bestseller
goosebumps.
award. Look at this.
Oh man.
It is to Charles and
Ivana.
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 I'm gonna
Oh,
say it
my
in Spanish.
Ivana.
Ivana.
Sí.
¿Cuál es tu nombre? Ivana.
Ivana.
And that's how they say it.
South Bronx. That's
Yeah,
it.
that is. Charles and Hepburn-Bailey. Congratulations on being Amazon bestsellers, The Flight of Your Life. Second edition presented by Publify Press. We want to bless you guys with this.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. You guys earned it. And, you know.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's
It's not a
dope.
Grammy, but it's
Hey,
close.
you know what, man? But
We'll take it.
But again,
take it.
let me say this, man. First of all, speaktless, but I'm gonna find words anyway. Y'all know
Yeah.
me. Y'all know me well enough. But to think about it this way, this just blesses me.
Yeah.
But it speaks to exactly what we're trying to get you, our listener, to understand, our viewers to understand.
Yes.
You may not know that there's something so significant on the inside of you that other people need it.
Yeah.
And you keep devaluing it. You lower the value of what you have. And I'm telling you, do it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the reach you're going to have. Your sheep will hear your voice. So I'm just grateful, man, for that, babe. Please.
Absolutely. I'm super grateful because during this time of even writing the content for the book, it came when we did it quietly. We did it without the fanfare. We didn't tell really anyone. We knew the stories. We knew the struggles and the trials and tribulations, but it's what you do in the dark that produces this.
Yeah.
We didn't do it for this.
No,
Yeah.
not at
But
all.
our fruit is the offspring of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm so grateful because there's so many people. I want to ask you, how many times you feel people reach out to you, communicate to you, and they abandon their investment, or they abandon it because they realize it's an investment and it's going to cost them.
And we talked about that yesterday on the phone. Like the biggest place where dreams are die is the
graveyard.
cemetery, man. Like
100%.
you drive through there and it's like, because dreams don't die. We put them on hold.
That's right. Come on, delay.
And we delay them and we delay them and we
Right.
keep on. Listen, I wrote a book because I'm an expert, right? Okay. And Benjamin Franklin said, if you want to be an expert, write a book.
That's right.
So I was an expert in making excuses, you know? So I wrote a book about 12 years ago called Excuses. And one of the key things is this. If you have to justify your reasons more than once, they become an excuse. And how many times we've justified our
All the time.
reasons, like
Right.
to hold that dream back.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing you can do is fail.
Yeah.
I'd rather live my life with
People
failure than
they're
regret.
afraid of that, though.
But the
They're so
last thing,
afraid.
so
Yeah.
the cemetery is full of like failures and regret of
So
people.
never-
Listen, man, I grew up in Rucker Park. I know basketball
Rucker
players
Park,
are better.
man.
I'm a Rucker Park
through with
legend.
that.
man.
Go ahead, bro.
You don't know nothing about that. This is New York right
That's
here.
what I'm saying. Where from you?
Well, let me just say
So my
this.
family, South Bronx,
Golly.
Brooklyn, and then upstate.
All right, you
Yep,
see?
so you already know.
But
Yeah.
from
Dr.
the
Saga.
South, you got to understand, we know a lot more than you guys think because
Let's get back to
we didn't
business.
have
Yeah.
a
Let's
get
lot,
back
so
to
we had to
business.
look at you guys as heroes. See, they're trying to
Okay,
honor
okay,
you guys.
I like that. I like
dreamed.
that.
I used to dream of going to New York. I thought it was like if you got to New York once in your life, you did something.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's how I
amazing.
thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway.
It is like it was. If you got, listen, I had every excuse not to succeed. right?
Yeah.
Free cheese line.
Right.
We left, came back to Puerto Rico. Yeah, my English wasn't that great. My teacher told me I have poor grammar. But I didn't allow that to stop me.
Correct.
And people,
Correct.
you know,
Correct.
you're going to have dream blockers in your life. You know how it is in New York.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
You got to be the last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, no doubt. You know why you can't talk about it in New York, though. Yeah, don't even talk about your dreams.
It's
Just do
different.
them. Yeah.
Exactly. And I like what you said, you know, real G's move in silence, right?
That's
A
right.
lot of times
That's
we
right.
want to advertise what we do, and it's too early because there's certain
premature.
people that are dream
Come on.
killers. And you tell them about your dreams too early, they will squash
Yeah,
it.
and you'll
they'll-
never. Where's the byproduct? You don't have nothing. You have nothing to show for it.
There's certain people that don't
Right.
need to know about your dreams,
on,
even
come on.
even it's
Even
family
family.
members and
Come
cousins and
on.
friends, because
Yeah.
all they're gonna do is bring jealousy,
Come on,
insecurity,
strife,
and
envy,
just
all that.
speak
Yep.
negativity in your
Yep.
life. Who are you to dream
Who
that?
do you think,
And you're like, nah, you got to do things in silence sometimes,
Yes.
and then let your vindication be your success, or
That's
let
it.
your success be your vindication.
Understand.
Absolutely.
So for us, it's an honor to present you with this bestseller because it came out the box. Like it was, and it let me tell you, there's like different bestsellers, right? There's the paperback, right? So it's what we call the soft cover, and then there's the hardcover.
Yeah.
There's the hardcover, but there's the dust jacket.
Yeah.
So it's harder to hit bestseller on a dust jacket.
Yeah.
It's a higher price. It's more excellent, but you guys hit it.
Both.
And the paperback. So I don't know which one, but Mimi's the one. Mimi,
you keep forgetting me. I'm like, hello.
dab me up, man.
Thank you. You got it.
So but don't write a book to become a bestseller.
That's
Come
right.
on.
Write a book to leave a legacy.
Thank you.
The
Thank
only
you.
thing
You're
that's going to
saying it right,
speak
man.
for you the next 1,000
Yes.
years is a book.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
The
That's your
dead
story.
rule the
Yeah.
world today because what they wrote yesterday.
Come on. Come on. Come
You
on.
know, so if we don't have a book, it's the chronicles. It's like I want my great grandbabies to be like, whoa,
Yeah.
he wrote a book.
Wrote it.
You know,
Wrote it.
Why not do that? And it's funny, man. People don't want to invest in their dreams.
I was
either.
just gonna ask you.
Talk about
I
Why?
like you see people and they'll vacation in Montego Bay on a yacht.
Yep.
But tell
You
me
know,
the best to do.
Yeah, I had a guy. He called himself like Bentley or something.
Wow.
And like I sent them a proposal. Everyone's got a dream until you send them a
till you send
proposal,
them a
right?
proposal.
No. Everyone's got money until you send them an invoice.
That part.
And I was like,
That's hilarious. That's true.
he was trying to play me for like a year, and I was like, yo, fam, man, real talk.
Everyone's got money till you
Everyone's
send
got
them
money.
an
An
invoice.
invoice. And I was like, yo, man, like he called me that day.
gangster.
You know, I'm not always safe. And I was like, yo, fam, you got to change your name from Bentley to Honda, bro, because ain't no way you're going to call
Not
yourself Bentley.
devaluing.
No, but he was like just tell
Yeah,
no.
like,
Knows
bro,
an
got
answer.
it. Yeah.
Knows an answer.
And it's
Just
okay to say no.
You know how many times, don't go where you're not invited, right?
Yeah,
how many
understood.
times in New York, if I said no, I would be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
man.
And you end up in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy. Now you're getting jumped with Timberlands and you running. Man, I don't care. Yeah. The only place you don't want to get stuck at night is the Bronx or Brooklyn.
no.
Oh, my
All the
God.
other boroughs, you might be all right.
Queens,
All
you're
right,
good.
okay.
Long
Yeah.
Island, you're good.
Queens,
yeah. Brooklyn, you're good. Well,
Yeah, but
Manhattan,
it depends. Manhattan.
I know.
So
Manhattan.
it's like that's key when it comes to building a legacy
Yeah.
Come on.
and having that. Like, why not you?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not you?
not
I
you?
love that. That's the
that's
title
it.
for this one. Why
So,
not you?
yeah.
That's it.
So I mean, the book is available at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, over 90 countries.
Yeah,
You know, I think Walmart has Walmart picked it up yet, or
Hadn't checked yet.
Walmart,
We're
pick
just
it up.
so
That's
excited.
it.
We're just
Walmart.
grateful.
that's a
man.
Mimi question.
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
Come on, Walmart.
I'm honored and blessed. And there's a lot going on with this. And the great thing about that this partnership is that we want to help other authors get published.
That's right. That's right.
And like I said, people want to spend all this
Yes.
money,
Right.
but they don't want to invest in
Period.
their book.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Like
of course.
I was talking to a guy one time, and every day I talk to him, he's buying Starbucks.
Yeah.
Every day I talk to
every
him,
day.
Starbucks,
Yep.
and
How much
and
money
a
does that
scone,
have been?
and I'm like, dude, how much is that? Oh, I said he was a friend of mine.
Sure. Right.
How much you spend a day? Like $10, $12. Bro,
Multiply.
add that up
Add it
by
up, come
12.
on.
Yeah.
It's,
You have to sacrifice
It's
for the
17
vision.
cents to make your own coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
Make your own coffee.
But you want to pay someone $8.
That's
No,
right.
mira, grab the Bustelo and get
That's
it together.
it.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll suffer for a little
You
bit.
have
Absolutely.
sacrifice.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Sacrifice for
I'm
the
glad you
vision.
said that, man. And just for you, again, we are saying this out of excitement in our heart, but also belief in you.
That's right.
Because it doesn't take much. Because we, again, everyone loves to say, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the money.
That's
But
right.
like we say in our book, we learn to keep the main thing the main thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if we want to get it done,
Come on.
we can find our reasons
Yeah.
to get it done.
Yeah.
And defeat the excuses as to why we can't.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious because when it's something that is of no value,
Come on.
or only depletes from us, we'll make every reason as to why we should do it.
Nice.
And it's not an investment at all.
True.
It is totally a liability.
Right.
So think today of what can you maybe cut back on, even if it's a couple dollars, to invest in yourself. We're not
right.
talking about paying it to someone else. Invest in yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that you can lead the legacy. You can tell the story that needs to be heard. So you can
right.
share so people can find hope and joy and strength and courage through your life. Yes, you've done enough and been through enough to encourage someone.
Yeah. That's powerful.
That's it. That's it. When I think about stories and I think about people that can create a book just like that, or even different, the thing about it is, I think sometimes people are afraid to release a thing.
Yeah,
it's
we've
not.
talked about
It's
that.
not.
We've
They're
talked about
afraid to
that.
create it.
Yeah.
They're afraid to
Wow.
release
We've
it.
talked about
That is huge.
Isn't
That is
that-
so
Like that's it. And when I think about releasing, it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of power too. But the problem is that when you hold a thing and hoard it, what about when they are dead and they are accountable for that they did
was
not
in them.
produce, that was in them, and all they had to do was find the strength, find the coach, find the mentor, find the publishing company to help them release it, release a thing. Like that's it.
I think it's the insecurity of what other people are going to say.
And that's the bottom line.
Fear of man,
That has taken
number one.
so many dreams
Number
from
one,
everyone as what is other
fear of
people gonna think.
criticism, but
Yeah.
the fear is not real. It appears to be real, but it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real. Who cares what people think? And yet
Exactly.
so many people care. And that's why a lot of those dreams right there in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. And it's who cares what people think, because eventually they're not going to pay your bills.
Who?
Bottom line.
They're not going to pay your bills.
Please, I will send
Yeah.
them my invoice gladly.
Exactly.
But let me
You
say
know?
this, because a lot of times what we forget to do is, I've heard Myron Golden, Uncle Myron I always call him, talk about expectations and positive outcome, right? You have to foresee it. You use this often when we both do, but you
100%.
definitely use it a
Oh,
lot,
man.
especially when you're speaking and presenting. You have to envision the positive outcome. So here's what I mean. We always assume that if I release it, people are going to say, oh, that's terrible, and that's, but when you do it, the people who see it are like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. You
They're
actually
really
did
excited.
something. You did this.
Yeah.
And so we forget that there are more people who will support once it's done. The reason why we have those feelings, and I believe this with all my heart, that people won't support us is because we don't follow through on what we say we're going to do.
Come on. Come on.
The only reason why we're afraid to release it is because typically we say we're going to do something and we don't.
Yeah.
So we're expecting people to respond the way they do every time.
Yeah.
We didn't get it done.
Come on. Because you've trained yourself to think that way.
Wow, you trained
That's your
yourself.
mindset.
It's
That's
like
it.
and it's like, don't listen, man. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if there's like a link. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they should connect with you guys.
Absolutely.
And like,
100%.
let's
See it on
get
the
your
screen.
story out. Like, the most powerful rights you have on the face of the earth is your publishing rights. Greater than anything else.
Before we
deep.
go, talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
it real
please.
quick. Just
Give us
give
a
some
second
people
on
some
it.
ideas.
So
on
you
what
know
that is.
the Hollywood world, right? So we're in talks about doing a couple of production movies and
we'll be in.
documentaries.
Right.
Oh yeah, you're the lead actor, bro. You know,
We
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it on
yeah.
tape.
We got it on tape.
yeah. Oh no. You have your own Netflix special. You know, La Reina del Bronx.
La Reina de Bronx. Hello.
Shouts out Mississippi.
You wish.
So publishing rights, right? So a publishing company, and I think I don't know if it was Alan Malnick. He owned Hollywood Studios, and he bought a major publishing company because he wanted to buy the rights to The Godfather. And he knew if I can buy the publishing
So
rights,
smart.
I own
Exactly.
everything
You
else.
own it. Exactly.
So music rights is cool,
Right.
copyrights is cool,
Right.
you know, international, but publishing rights. Whoever owns the book publishing rights, whoever owns everything. Reese Witherspoon's
Yeah.
just sold her company Hello Sunshine
I saw that, yeah.
for $900 million
Crazy.
because she owned the rights to like 5 or 6
Wow.
shows. So content is king right now. Two things: you want to own your publishing rights.
Okay.
You know, every studio is investing over $1 trillion over the next 10 years to collectively to launch content. So if you own your publishing rights, then you can shop it.
Yeah.
Because if not, a publishing company, they give you a 360 deal, but you don't own anything. You don't own foreign rights, you don't own movie rights, you don't own script rights, you don't own likeness, you don't own trademarks. I had a girl, Maya's Vote, and her book is fire, right? And her and her mom, they're like the biggest. They got like 4 or 5 million followers, and they did a cookbook. And at one point, the publishing company was like, "Oh, you have to do so much on your Instagram."
Yes.
Right.
I had a guy. If I mention his name, everyone knows him. But it's like, but he was like, he got an advance, but he still had to pay for marketing. Publishing companies don't do book signings for you.
Right.
When I hear people like, what? Oh, I need to do book signings and I need to be on Good Morning America.
Yeah. Right.
The publishing
They're
companies
not
don't
doing
do that.
And we
Right.
thought
Tell
that.
them.
You
That's
hire
what we
like
want
an
you to talk
Esmeralda
about.
Baez or a publisher.
Come on.
You know, like one of the biggest icons I signed, Sergio George.
Yeah.
19-time Grammy winner, the great, like he wrote, he produced Celia Cruz,
beautiful.
Mark
My
Anthony,
favorite.
right?
Incredible.
Sergio George is the king, right?
Wow.
Even he knew it.
Yeah.
And he owns, his masters have to be 100 million. I always tell him, he's like, no, they don't. You own everybody.
Yeah.
So even he had to get a publicist. As big as they are, right? So owning your publishing rights is the master of it, right?
Okay.
So you should definitely have your own publishing.
Okay.
Then everything else you put on the music publishing,
Right.
foreign rights.
Got it.
People think copyright is
Protection.
no, man, you get that for nothing.
Yeah.
Copyright only protects what you wrote, and
Yeah.
95% of the time it doesn't even protect it, right? Because and then it won't protect your cover because covers are not copyrights. So you want to get publishing rights.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference because
Teaching y'all.
a lot of things right now too, and you know AI. A lot of people are writing books. Thank God, this book was
That's
written
original.
like
Before AI.
AI will take
Right.
and people. Amazon has kicked out. Listen to me. Amazon has kicked out like 5,000-6,000 books already. They're gonna do another 10,000. Bard is in fights with Google. Amazon's gonna come up with their own AI.
Right,
ChatGPT,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
GP4.
They know what it is.
Elon Musk founded it,
Wow.
and now Bill Gates is the biggest investor. So is
already know.
Microsoft. The internet is undefeated.
Yeah.
Do you think Jeff Bezos flies rocket ships?
Right.
He flies it on the publishing house. So he's not going to allow an AI generated book to come out. And another thing is, and I'm going to finish this.
Yeah.
There's trademark infringements. There's like when you take
Like copy and paste.
like you're taking plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
Right.
Understood.
Right.
I know there's fair use laws, there's
Right.
public domain laws, but there's but plagiarism, and a lot of people are just literally like taking something and copying and pasting in their book, and then now you're gonna get hit with trademark infringement, plagiarism. So the last thing you want is the only thing you have in life is that you're one of one.
Yeah.
The only thing we have in common is that we're different.
That's it.
And if you're trying to be like somebody else, you're gonna go like the vapor. You want to stand out, make your own content, get a great editor,
Yeah.
Right.
because 99% of people are authors. I can't write to save my life, but
It's
I can
okay.
tell the story.
Right.
I
And
get
get
an
the-
editor
that's
to
it.
clean
Just
it
get
up,
supporters. That's
because
right.
only 1% of people are writers.
Yeah.
Ryan Holiday
Yeah.
and Malcolm Gladwell
Sure.
and Hemingway and
Right.
C.S. Lewis.
Those are writers.
Those are
Right.
writers.
Right.
I can't write, but I can tell the story.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
if I could tell the story, I get the expert.
Come on.
And he or she to chop it up. Like my first book, like when I first did my book, and this girl, Vanessa, she looked at it and she chopped that book up. It was like Jason. It had so much
red everywhere.
Because when you do a
Yeah,
book,
you're like,
there's
yeah.
like track changes.
Yeah.
And it was like Jason. I was like, I wanted to curse it out. She's like, oh my God. I wish you had hand gestures because I don't know what this means. What does this mean? What were you doing that night? Were you drunk? Were you when you like? She was like just real
Ripping
comments.
it up, yeah.
But it's better one person criticize you
Yeah,
than
the
without
whole
her.
world. That's right.
100%.
And she
That's
was
right,
honest,
that's right.
Yeah.
and we
That's
had
right.
that book was like a mess.
Wow.
And she took it and she structured it,
Yeah, line
and
by
then we
line.
did a proofread, and the
Yeah.
book has been out.
Wow.
And it's
Just
changed
like
the world.
that.
That's
So,
incredible.
Wow.
but yeah,
Before
man.
we go, I want to ask really quick, do you feel like, because a lot of people do this because they're afraid or they don't have the knowledge, self-publishing is better than having a publishing company? Self-publish on Amazon, let's say.
It depends, right?
Yeah,
If you
okay.
come up with a decent budget, we do hybrid publishing.
Yeah,
Right.
That's right.
You want to be careful because Amazon is still going to own your
Of
assets.
course.
They
There
own
we
So
go.
when you self-publish, they like, and it's really not free.
Yeah.
Cheap is expensive.
Yeah. Cheap is expensive.
And I'm like, man, invest another $3,000-$4,000
Yep.
and come with a hybrid company. It doesn't
That's
even have
right.
to be us.
Yes.
Like
Right.
Scribe Media. Scribe
Yeah.
Media is one of my biggest competitors. Tucker Max
Sure.
is a New York Times bestseller. They're just like us. I'm like,
Okay.
we're not the only company,
Yeah. Right.
but we work with integrity. Everyone
Right.
that works with us, listen, we have everyone we worked with,
Right.
whether we've had issues, we've worked right, and they can say it was done right.
And
Because there are
verified,
times,
for sure,
I don't do
for
cheesy.
sure.
I'm
Right,
like, we ain't doing that cover.
absolutely
That's my cover. I'm like,
a no
no,
for me.
no,
Exactly.
because a book sells because great cover, great editing.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
doesn't sell because poor cover, poor editing.
Come on,
Yeah.
come
That's
on,
crazy.
come on.
So I
That's
think
deep.
if you really, really, really are on a ramen noodle, diet,
Right.
then self-publish. Get it out.
Yeah.
89% of people want to write books, 1% actually does. I love when people are like, everyone's writing books. No, they're
No, they're
not.
not.
Wow.
There's like, what,
Yeah, it's
9
not
billion
true.
people and only,
1%.
8 million have published?
Yep.
That's real.
I mean, that's
That's real.
0.111.
That's small.
So if you get a book out, it will, and I got testimonies, and you'll see it. It adds like a 25% boost to your expertise, to your content, to your business.
This is the new card.
Bro,
People don't want your card. They want to see your assets.
Come on.
That's it.
Even when we
That's
do
an
interviews
asset.
for
I love
speaking,
that.
they say, what are your takeaways?
That's
Do you
right.
have anything that we can put in their
Your
hands?
tangibles.
This is the first,
That's
they
right.
call it tangibles, the
Tangibles.
first thing.
It is the
They
most
don't want
important thing.
anything else. They want to know if you have a book, a workbook, something you published.
It's not that hard.
Right.
Just get a good writer.
Right.
Tell the story.
Yeah.
It used to run a lot of money.
Yeah.
Man, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, come up with a good budget. If you want now,
If you want to run it,
you want New York Times, you
Right.
want to be
Yeah.
billboards.
Right.
Right.
That comes.
yeah. Comes with a
That's
cost.
what publishing
Of
companies do.
investment.
They hire a
That's right.
publicist,
That's right.
and you pay the publicist.
Yeah,
Not
that's
that.
it. I
Right,
know.
right, right.
Publishing companies ain't gonna lose.
Just like the rappers, like I said, they forget when they sign their contract.
Bro, that's a loan. Bro.
All that stuff is a loan.
Yeah.
And they go, bro, they're like, I gotta pay you back. What do you mean I gotta pay you back all this money? Yep.
Ryan Holiday is one. He's a great author, and he got a $250,000 advance.
Yeah.
He's written like 4 New York Times bestsellers.
Crazy.
Sold millions of books, and he finally said, "Oh, I finally recouped my money." So that means he's made the publisher
Millions.
50 to 100 million, and gave
Finally
that.
getting his money.
Whoa.
No, so people
That's
like,
crazy.
why not bet on yourself?
Bet on
me.
yourself.
Yeah,
That's what we
The
try to
best
do.
investment is yourself.
That's right.
Like I rather invest in myself than
Yeah.
anybody. Like bet on yourself.
Bet on
Come on.
yourself.
Come on.
What's the worst thing? I love that book, Good to Great by Jim Collins.
I remember, but I can't remember the title.
It's like I love that. This is the thing, guys. I'll leave
the
you with
writer.
this. You don't have to be perfect, but just aim for the target. Because if you miss it, you come close. Because if you don't
Yes.
have a target, you're
Yes.
like the children of Israel in the desert.
Wandering.
You'll be walking around for 40 years.
Thank you.
So you have to have a target. You have to have a goal. Even if it's to start your business, even if it's to write your own song, even if it's to publish your own book, even if it's to collaborate, have a target.
Yeah.
And if you have a target, man, even if you miss, you come close. If you don't, it's just up there in space in La La Land.
Yes.
And then you're going to be like, I could have. And it's not too late to start, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Warren
alive.
Buffett,
Never too
Colonel
late.
Come on, if
Sanders.
you're alive,
Then he
it's
started late
always
with like
time.
the chicken.
I always tell the story about Moses. People forget this. It was 40 years before he left to go into the desert after he went into exile. It was another 40 years before he came back as the resurrector of his people.
Wow.
And it was another 40 years after that when he saw the promised land.
120 years.
He was 80 years before his purpose, and he finally found it, and another 40 years before he completed the journey.
That's awesome.
Never too late. You just got to keep moving.
And the key thing was this: somebody let go of Moses.
yeah.
So people like that's what people do. They hold on,
Yeah.
right? And I tell people, yo, I do it. Even you guys, that's it. Let go of the book because it happens. Like you guys, like no,
That's
Yeah,
right,
no.
that's
let
right.
go
Let it go.
Moses,
Let
Let
go.
it go.
because he'll never come back to free
Yeah.
you. Somebody had to let him go.
Let him go.
And anyway, that's for another podcast.
No, but this has been amazing. So, guys, we hope that you enjoyed it, and we know we enjoyed it. This is
Yeah.
our dude, man, and this high octane energy. Where can they find you?
So yeah, me and me and Mimi, I think we've collectively in our team, we have a good team, over 1,000 to 2,000 books over the last
Incredible.
decade
He's the
and a
man.
half.
Come on.
So I think Publify Press was
Yeah.
www.publify. Look, that's
Yeah,
right. I wear my brand.
PUBLIFYPRESS.
I stopped investing in like
Yeah.
Gucci shirts, man. This-
Yeah, you got to
That's
bet
it.
on
I'm
yourself.
the advertisement,
Bet
you
on
know?
yourself.
Bet on me.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Publify Press,
Yeah.
and then if you want a free book template, go into resources, and we have a free book template there.
There you go.
And XP Lopez Jr. You'll find me on Instagram or Peter Lopez on LinkedIn.
Perfect.
Publify Press on. But yeah, we would love to anything. We definitely we've partnered with you guys
Inspire
to really.
Inc.
It'd be great if we could publish some 10 great authors and walk them through your
man.
process,
Did you
make
hear
them a
what he said?
bestseller. have them come to the podcast.
Come on.
I'll come and do the interview
That
with
will
y'all.
literally
Yes.
be a part of the
Yes.
process. So
Yeah.
if you are serious about it, you're thinking, I want to try this, shoot us a message. You already
Yeah.
know where to find us, aspirehigherlife.com. You
Yeah.
can also hit contact. You can DM us through Insta or social, of course. Even leave a comment. We'll see it. We look at every single comment and we reply personally, and we will get your information, work with you. But if you buy the book, in the back of the book, there's a bonus for anyone who buys it. You get 15 minutes with us complimentary so we can talk to you about this and how we can help you to establish this process. Do you hear me?
That's it.
We're serious. We're not just joking. We did it. We want to help you do it because we found the formula.
Yes, we did.
She hasn't even like.
That's
looked
what
at it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
She's
so
holding-
proud.
She-
So
She's
proud.
gonna be like,
But no.
she's gonna be sleeping with it tonight. You're gonna be in the couch today. It's like she won the Stanley Cup. Look at her. That's like, imagine the Knicks get a championship.
Just
you know?
like this. But this is true evidence. That's why I'm holding it. It's true evidence of hard work. It's true evidence of investment. And it's true evidence of letting go and doing it afraid.
Yeah.
So if we can do it, you definitely can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So just do it. That's it.
Yeah.
Babe, we
Just
did a
do
great
it.
job. Thank you so much,
Thank
my
you,
man
guys.
Peter. Thanks for being on the show, bro.
Pleasure.
Thank
Until
you.
next time, we're checking out here, Spy Hard with Charles and Yvana Bailey.